Yo, what is popping, y'all? What is good? Uh, Want to come up on here and just spit a few facts. Try to teach as much as possible, guys. Thank you guys for the love. Double tap the screen, show some love, guys. You guys have been wonderful to me. You guys been great. My goal is to do a lot more for my community. Yo, what's good? What's good? My goal is to focus on my community. My goal is to better the community. It's all of that. Obviously, you see today's topic, Republicans are to blame for the shutdown. If you do disagree, hop in. If you have any questions, hop in. But when we do look at the government shutdown, which is up to 31 days, and Congress won't come back until, I believe, Monday. So it's going to be 34 days into the government shutdown, which will be the second longest. It's already the second longest, but one more day would make it the longest government shutdown. I honestly do believe that's going to be the longest government shutdown. But in this conversation, our goal is to really understand why Republicans are to blame for this government shutdown and why and to understand that. I don't want to keep saying that Republicans are to blame and not give an actual reason, although you can watch my videos, guys, on these things. When I talk about SNAP benefits, apparently it doesn't do too well. That's okay. I'm going to still talk about SNAP benefits because it's important. Before I take any guests, I just want people to do understand that this conversation is meant to teach. I appreciate that. This conversation is meant to teach. It's not meant to start an argument. It's not to start a debate. Any debate against SNAP benefits just doesn't make any sense to me. I just want people to have a better understanding of what it means when we talk about people losing their SNAP benefits and how Republicans are causing this to happen. Do I have a few people on here? No, I don't have any guests. So I'm just going to start my yapping. And any questions, hit me up. If you disagree with what I have here, you can come up here. What we first have to understand is that, yes, a lot of people will sit here and tell you, well, Democrats have shut down, have blocked the bill 13 times. They have not voted against the bill. What we first have to understand, technically, they haven't voted against the CR bill. They voted against the filibuster. That doesn't matter. In hindsight, really, that part doesn't really matter, but they're not voting against the CR. They're voting against stopping the filibuster because they need 60 votes to stop the filibuster. Now, you're wondering, okay, well, if Democrats are causing, and then for anyone who doesn't know what a filibuster is, guys, I'm going to explain what a filibuster is. A filibuster is basically when you set an argument, you can argue for a long time, blocking a bill to be voted on. And that's what's happening. The CR bill is not being voted on, guys. When they said that they're not voting for the CR bill, it doesn't mean that they're voting no against the CR bill. They're voting no against doing the filibuster. And the whole point of the filibuster is to make sure we don't vote for the CR bill. Now you're wondering, okay, so why are they doing this filibuster now? Why they couldn't do this filibuster when the government is open? I'm about to explain that. The reason why it is smarter to do the filibuster during a government shutdown or to cause a government shutdown because everybody's going to talk about it. You see how everybody's going to talk about it? It is more important now about the negotiations between Democrats and Republicans. Remember, the continuing resolution bill, and anyone who doesn't know what the continuing resolution bill is, yo, it's good. It is basically, guys, thank you for the love. All donations do go to supporting me, going to different states and stuff like that and protesting, but whatever. So what we first need to understand is that the continuing resolution bill is a temporary funding bill. It is solely to fund the government for a short period of time. This one in particular was supposed to fund the government until November 21st. November 21st, the bill was supposed to fund the government. Now, right? The problem with this is the only group of people that created the bill, remember, Congress is what creates bills, votes on the bills, passes the bills, and goes to the president, right? The only part of Congress that actually worked on the continuing resolution bill was Republican. It was not a bipartisan bill. It was a Republican bill. Now, yes, the Republican bill can technically be considered could be considered a clean resolution bill. The reason why they passed a clean resolution bill is because they passed everything they wanted on the one big beautiful bill. Guys, if you want to get fucked, the one big beautiful bill does that effortlessly. What do I mean by that? The one big beautiful bill not only guts your chances of getting affordable Medicaid, but it also defeats your chances of also getting SNAP benefits. A lot of people are saying that Democrats are the problems when it comes to SNAP benefits. Republicans were already causing people to lose SNAP benefits already with the one big beautiful bill. Do you not understand that? How are you going to say, first of all, I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, I am independent, but I am real when I say this. You cannot say Democrats are the cause of this if Republicans in the one big beautiful bill were the ones that already try to cut that shit down. What we need to understand is that majority of people on SNAP benefits. Wait, before I continue, guys, double tap the screen. Before I continue, if you want to help people who are losing their SNAP benefits, you can volunteer at food banks. You can donate. You can donate food. More than likely, it's better to donate money. You can find this at feedingamerica.com/find your location. You can find your food bank at feedingamerica.org. I'm going to be doing it with my partner. We're going to be doing it a couple days a week. But let's remember, Republicans were talking about America first. We're seeing that they're not America first. How are you America first if you're negating the fact that people need health care, people need food stamps, and people are talking shit, talking about, oh, the food stamps are going to the lazy. That doesn't make any fucking sense. If we created the food stamp program, if we created the EBT program for people who need help, and the people who need help are using it, how the fuck are you calling them lazy? Statistics and reports show the majority of people who are on food stamps are either being paid lower than minimum wage, are disabled, are elderly, or are children. When people say that people are on food stamps are lazy, they're literally saying that a retired veteran is fucking lazy. They're literally saying that a 6-year-old child is lazy. They're literally saying a mother who does full-time but also has to cover childcare, medical bills. You understand how life works? I need you guys to understand how someone can have a hard time and need food stamps and they're not lazy. You can work a full-time job and have a child that may need extra help, and you may need to pay out of pocket for that. That extra pocket, that money you have to pay is going away from your groceries. You know, food stamps help, and most people don't get the full amount of food stamp money. In 2026, if you have a family of 8, you get like about, $1,900? Instacart reported that $363 per person is what you need on average. On average, you spend $363 on groceries, $1,900 for 8 people. That's not going to fucking work out. For one person, it's $200. For one person, it's $200, but you expect them to make that motherfucker last 2 months. Mind you, Donald Trump said what? Right? Yo, am I lying? Tell me if I'm lying. Didn't Donald Trump says that America is going to be more affordable again? Make America affordable again? Where's the affordability? Inflation is over 3%. Unemployment is over 3%. Job market is low. Amazon just reported they fired people. Apple just reported they fired people. Manufacturing companies reported they fired people. Where's the affordability? Where is the I'm still looking for it. He promised all these things and we don't see it. He promised all these. He said that this is the golden age for America. This is the 2 things he said. He said this is the golden age for America and it's the golden age for Israel. That, man, we call that a fucking ceasefire. That's not a fucking No, we call that a peace deal. That's not a peace deal. That's a low effort ceasefire. It's as bad as the China deal. It's as bad as the China deal. But let me get back to this. Because I'm moving all over the place. So we understand what a continuing resolution bill is, right? And we also understand that Democrats are causing a filibuster to not vote on a CR. Now, again, the reason why a filibuster is very important to do now than any other time is because it forces Republicans to negotiate. Republicans throughout this whole year did not negotiate with Democrats not one fucking time. Am I lying? Am I lying? Every bill that was passed this year, Republicans passed it with no fucking problem. Right? Remember, people kept saying Democrats got no balls. Democrats are scary. Democrats ain't gonna do nothing. They pulled the trigger now. They did it. They're doing it now. Democrats pulled a pretty ballsy move. What? You tell me it's not ballsy to pull a filibuster that's gonna start a shutdown? And the only reason why we have to blame Republicans for the continuation for the shutdown is because they don't want to negotiate. They didn't want to negotiate the whole year. And the reason why they don't negotiate is because they don't want to look scary. They don't want to look pussy. For the lack of better term, they don't want to look pussy. Why? Because they haven't negotiated with Democrats not one time. Now they're forced to? Nah, fuck that. We're going to keep it running is what they're saying. But it's dumb. First of all, there's a poll that's saying that most people are blaming Donald Trump and Republicans for the shutdown. Donald Trump, you fucking idiot. You're not thinking, dog. People are going to remember this on the next election. When J.D. Vance is running, they're going to ask that scary ass boy, why didn't he do nothing? You know he's going to say, it was the Democrats. It was the Democrats. First of all, you have to survive the primary, my nigga. Let's hope that. Midterms is coming up. A lot of people have been asking me when I'm going back to doing the midterms. I'm getting back to that. It's about to be a year away now. I did it ahead of time. Now I'm trying to do it within a year. Guess what, guys? It's about to go crazy. Donald Trump is not thinking. Now, mind you, Democrats also gave a Halloween, yo, what's good? Now, a lot of people have been asking me why I'm not in a costume. No one asked me. I just want to say this. It's expensive now. Have you not seen the government? It's garbage. I'm not great at saving money. Me and my partner is trying to do well at that. So I'm not going to sit here and lecture people on saving money. I'm working on that. But I'll also say that I'm not going to buy a costume because currently right now it's just a waste of cost for me. Knowing how everything is getting more expensive, Christmas is going to get more expensive. Guys, if you don't know, there's a reason why Amazon and Apple are making so much money right now. People are buying their Christmas gifts now. People are buying their Christmas gifts now because they're going to be more expensive next month, guys. Inflation is a motherfucker. Yes, and I'm low-key boycotting the holidays. I was going to mention that too. After, what's happening in the Gaza Strip, what's happening in Congos, what's happening in Sudan, what happened in Syria, what's happening here in America, people are not getting fed. I feel like me and my partner agreed that we shouldn't be spending our money on those things. We should be focused on other things. This is why I focused on doing videos and not mentioning Halloween and nothing like that. Even for Christmas, my partner actually had this idea of trying to find the Palestinians' tree, what tree grows in Palestine, and hope we can find something comparable to that and use that as our Christmas tree. We're going to see that. I'm going to talk about the ceasefire later. I do have a guest. I am going to allow one guest in, and then I'm going to get back to what I was talking about, because I was talking about shit. Yo, what's good?
Hey, I have a question.
What's up?
Why aren't we making out right now, bro?
I'm taken, so that's the biggest reason.
Bro, really?
I appreciate you. Oh, we got trolls out here. It's okay. Appreciate the love, guys. If you're gonna show me love down in the guest box. I appreciate that. Other than that, yeah, right. I'm blushing. The fuck, guys. But I'm heartbroken. You're funny. But at the end of the day, yes, he's my man. Okay. Whoa. All right. Chat. I'm pretty sure my partner is here. So let's not let her, you feel me? Hey, that's my nigga. But Other than that, let's get back to the conversation, guys. So, why are we blaming the Republicans for the current ceasefire? I'm not current ceasefire. Why are we blaming the Republicans for the current government shutdown? So, again, remember, I mentioned that the CR bill was created solely by the Republicans. Republicans did it in the Senate. Now, people are going to be like, well, it passed in the Senate. One person from the Democrat side voted in the, not passed in the Senate, passed in the House. One person in the House voted. One person in the Democrat side voted for that bill in the House. That's it. No one else in the Democrat voted for that bill because no one else agreed with that bill. So automatically it passed because obviously the majority. It went to the Senate. The Senate's a little different. They have that filibuster rule where 60 votes will equal going against the filibuster. Guess what? There's only 55 Republicans. There are only 55 Republicans. There's no more, no less. And they cannot stop a filibuster on their own. They need 5 Democrats. They only got 3 Democrats. And these 3 Democrats, Fetterman, and the other 2 is a woman and this other guy. I can't remember their 2 names. I just remember Fetterman because he talks a lot. But these 3 are the only ones that are voting against the filibuster, but no other Democrats are for the CR. So regardless of what you think, the CR bill, both House and Senate Democrats was against this. Now, yes, we can all agree that this caused a government shutdown. Now, if you was president, Donald Trump, before he was president, even said that a president that allows the government shutdown is a failure. If I was him, I would have gotten the deal done right then and there. What is Donald Trump known for? Why do we choose Donald Trump as our president? He was a deal closer. He was a businessman. He knew how to keep the business motherfucking going. Can I get an amen? Right? Am I lying? Was that not why Donald Trump became president? Because he was a motherfucking businessman. Right? Because he understood business. He knows how to keep shit going. So why the government shut down? He was supposed, before the government shut down, a day or 2 before the government shut, I'm giving y'all all the tea. I'm giving y'all the tea. I'm giving y'all the motherfucking tea. Right? So look, before the government shutdown happened, you know what Donald Trump said? Originally, he said, I'm going to meet with the Senate Democrats and the House Democrats. I'm going to meet with these motherfuckers and we're going to settle this, right? And then after that, you know what happened? He cancels that shit. He cancels that shit and goes straight to a shutdown. You know why? Because he wanted to push the idea that Democrats wanted to keep the shutdown. That's what he wanted, which was kind of dumb, right? So we already seen that Donald Trump didn't want to negotiate a government shutdown, which Republicans are asking for. Am I lying? Anyone tell me I'm lying, let me know if I'm lying. The reason why the government shutdown is still going is because there's no negotiations. Why are you going to keep sending out the same CR bill to a group of people that told you, no, negotiate first? But you're not negotiating. No shit, you're not negotiating, so it's not going to pass. So what does Donald Trump do? What does this motherfucker DJT do? Donald Trump, instead of staying in the United States and fighting for his people, instead of trying to make sure the American people are fed and healthcare is alive, he goes to fucking Asia. He goes to Asia. But before going to Asia, he says, yo, I'm going to be honest with you. The military is bombing boats in the Pacific. The military is bombing boats in the Caribbean. We got to keep paying the military. I can't allow them to keep bombing shit and I don't pay them. Right? I can't use the National Guard. I can't send the National Guard out and not pay these motherfuckers. So you know what he did? He did the most illegal thing you can do as a motherfucking president. He did a lot of motherfucking illegal things. But you know what he did? He said, yo, Pete Hegseth, go into your bank account, take the money that's not for the military's paychecks and make it their paychecks. That's illegal. You know what that's called? That's called anti-deficiency. That's against the Anti-Deficiency Act. You know what the act is? It stops federal employees from taking money that's not allocated to certain things and using it. They took money from research. They took research money. That money was already allocated, gang. Oscar said wrong. Debate me then, gang. Debate me then, gang. I'm cool. Not debate me. Talk to me then. My bad. Talk to me. I used to be a debater. Talk to me. Right? People, I'm telling you niggas. Well, none of y'all, a lot of y'all not niggas. A lot of y'all not niggas. I'm gonna take that back. I'm used to talking to my niggas, right? But what we need to understand is that Donald Trump wants to pay his military because he's sending them out to blue state, blue cities. He's sending them out to bomb boats. He's sending them out to do all these things. So he has to pay them. He has to pay them. Oh, yo, what's good, Santana? Stand the fuck up. He has to pay them, right? So you know what he does? He tells P. Hegseth to go in the allocated fundings for research in the military and spend it in the military, right? Spend it for the military. Then this month, the military was gonna go broke. You know what happens? One of the people that this is one of Donald Trump's pimps. I call him Donald Trump. His name is Timothy. I keep saying Timothy Chalamet. I can't remember his name. But this individual, he's a big Trump donor. He's a big Trump donor. You know what he gives? He gives 180 million to the military. First of all, that's not even enough. Broke ass nigga. Yeah, I'm saying. He broke as fuck. First of all, I think you need over $200 million to pay everybody. You only gave 180 fucking million, you broke ass nigga. What's the point of you trying to pay the military if you can't pay the whole thing? And only a fucking month? Only a month? What happens if this goes again next month? What happens if this goes again next month? So whatever, right? So Donald Trump is able to pay the military for 2 months. Then he goes to Asia. He goes to Asia and then lies to the American people and tells you that he got a trade deal. Gang, how many times did you hear him say that he has a trade deal with China? 3 times. This is the 3rd time he said he had a trade deal. The first time was in May. Second time was in June. This time is this month. 3 times. You know why there's always a trade deal? It's because every time China does something he doesn't like, he puts tariffs on their ass. You know what China did? China said, yo, you're putting tariffs on us, nigga? Fine. Boom. No soybeans. We're not buying your soybeans. Now, guess what? The farmers, 56% bankruptcy went up. Farmers, bankruptcy went the fuck up. You know what's crazy though, gang? Let me tell you this. This is fucking funny. No, this is not funny. This is bittersweet. Oh, you're being cruel. I don't give a fuck. This is bittersweet. The farmers in 2024 said they was going to vote for Donald Trump, despite the first trade war they had with China. The first trade war they had with China fucked them over badly, right? The first trade war they had with China fucked farmers up badly, right? Guess what's happening now? There's a trade war between China and America. And guess who's getting fucked? Guess who's getting bamboozled? Not only did Donald Trump bail out Argentina, what he gave? $40 billion, something like that? Right? He gave the beef industry to Argentina. He gave the beef industry to Argentina, so now they're fucked with beef, right? And now when it comes to soybeans, they're selling less soybeans to China than they did last year. 40 billion, thank you. Why? Because China's not fucking with Trump. Trump, he's a yapper. He tells you things prematurely. He says he's got shit done. He gets nothing done. What are you gonna tell me? Is the economy great? Don't tell me the economy is great. The economy is great? No. How's the job market? Terrible. How's the housing market? Terrible. But you know the one thing that motherfucker did? You know that one thing the motherfucker did that stayed consistent? Keeping the border shut. He told you, and I'm talking to these MAGA motherfuckers. I want y'all to hear this. He told you S-A stupid A. He told you dumb A. He told you, nah, you know, I'm gonna be nice. He told y'all that migrants are taking your jobs. He told y'all migrants are making housing expensive. He told y'all migrants are taking your government aid. Remember? The border is shut. And it's still bad. It's worse. We're worse than what we were last year. But now we have mass deportation, right? He told you, he told you that what was he focusing on? He said, we're focused on the criminals. We're focused on a criminal. Now he's saying that anyone that's here illegally is a fucking criminal. That's different. You said you were getting the murderers, the rapists. You said you was getting those out the way. No, you're getting people who has parking tickets older than me. You're trying to remove niggas with parking tickets older than me. You didn't hear the story? There's a man, right, who has a daughter who has cancer. He's the individual that makes the bread in the household. They try to deport his ass because of parking tickets. That's your fucking president. He can't even be here during a government shutdown. He in China. He in China chilling with them. They won't fuck with him. Your president, instead of being here, negotiating, stopping a government shutdown, is in China lying about a deal that he doesn't fucking have. And hold on. Quit bitching. I'm going to say this one more time. Quit bitching about people on food stamps. They're eating better than me. Nigga, so let them use their fucking food stamps. What the fuck is it for? Fucking food. Food, right? No one, not one video I've seen, someone said, oh, people using their food stamps to do their hair, do their nails. No, you mad because their hair and nails done? First of all, you know what the fuck they doing. The fuck? First of all, research even shows that food stamps don't even go that long. Niggas still hungry. Guess what? You know what? I'm dropping bombs. I'll be honest with you guys. These information I'm giving you are in videos. They're the videos that I teach that I'm telling you. You think that I just do these videos and fucking forget? You think I just do my research and let that shit sit? Nah, nigga, I do this shit for real. I do this shit for real. Stop playing with me. And yo, I appreciate, listen, I'm gonna start doing this live every night at 5 p.m. Fuck that. I'm gonna teach, bro. Listen, I'm yapping real quick. I'm gonna get back to this topic. I'm gonna yap real quick. I know y'all don't give a fuck. I'm gonna yap real quick. Bro, I was reading the top 14 black political influencers, right? Individual that talks about politics and that are known for that. And they're black individuals. And the list are fucking heavy hitters. Heavy hitters. Joy Reid. I'm surprised Don Lemon is not on there, but we had Joy Reid. We had Ron. I can't remember Ronald. I can't remember his last name. We had Ron. We great at yappers. Yeah, it was a lot of great names. For some reason, it's drawing a blank. I read that like a day ago, and I was just like, you know what? My goal is not to be on that list. But my goal is to make sure that people know that I'm doing something. Not just out here online, but in these streets. And I'm working on that, guys. I promise you. That's just a little disclaimer. Let's get back to the teaching. And I'm only going to do this until 6 o'clock, guys. No EBT for you. So I've been blessed and I've been lucky not to be on EBT anymore. But statistics shows that half of the people in America that are citizens have been on some type of government assistance. Either that's unemployment, that's EBT, that's Social Security, that's Medicaid. So I don't know what the fuck what you're telling me. So there's a good chance that you know somebody who are on one of these things at one point in their lives. So you telling me, oh, I'm losing my EBT, don't mean shit to me, because actually I know people that's going to lose this EBT. So it's actually tremendously horrible. So 13%, 53%, you doing that. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about that. Joy Reid, yeah, that woman is amazing. She's intelligent. In fact, fun fact, guys, I'm gonna get back to this topic. I actually met Joy Reid. I didn't have the opportunity to talk to her personally, which I really wanted to, which is fine. I was able to ask her a question or two, and the answer she gave me was beautiful. We actually made her laugh. Hey, that's a low key flex. And I'm gonna tell you guys the joke that I told her. I'm gonna tell her, then I'm gonna continue because we only got less than 20 minutes, right? So the joke, Joy Reid is a joke. Come on, guys, get this man out of here, get him out of here. But the joke that I told Joy Reid was, I told her that she's probably one of the top 5 black women in politics, right? And she was like, thank you. I wasn't finished. I said, well, that's been attacked, right? So she starts laughing. Everyone's laughing. That was a joke, guys. That was a joke. It might not mean shit to you, but it means everything to me. I got Jory to laugh. Felt good. So I digress. So where was I, guys? Sorry, I know I am yapping. I'm hoping I'm giving gems. I'm hoping I'm making sense. I'm hoping I'm not just talking shit. I am going to give space for people to ask any questions or anything like that, or are against it. So if you have any questions or you're against what I'm saying, I want to hear from you. I want to hear your part. I want to understand why you think Democrats are the problem with this. Because I'm not a Democrat. I'm just an individual that uses the facts. So again, guys, it's what Donald Trump is saying is bullshit. Oh, last thing I want to say is that Donald Trump is trying to remove the fucking filibuster, which is fucking crazy to me, because the filibuster, that, guys, again, thank you for the love. All the love is donations to my organization and helping me do stuff outside of here. Brush your hair. First of all, guys, this is free form. I'm doing free form locks. Shut the fuck up. Oh my God, this is the last thing I'm gonna say, because that was racist. Miss Cleveland, that was racist. I'm doing free form locks. If you're not from Florida, you don't understand. These are free form locks, guys. Thank you for all the things, okay? So that's what you're saying. You feel me? I'm black. Well, then do your research. You see these? You see these? You see these? I'm hype, nigga. You see this? I think that's called Congos or flat locks. Stop playing with me, bro. Typical Democrat. Get the fuck out of here. But damn, I got 10 minutes, guys. It looks good. Ignore her. Thank you. Any questions, guys? You can ask me any questions down here or up there. We got 10 minutes. I want to use this. My goal is to be on live every night at 5 after I drop my videos and I get other stuff done. What's your opinion on socialism? Socialism can work. I don't think socialism is the complete answer when it comes to removing misogyny, misogynoir, racism, white supremacy. When it comes to removing those things, I don't think socialism completes that. Socialism makes everything better when it comes to financial burdens and stuff like that. I'm for socialism. I don't think it's the only answer for a utopia, if that makes sense. What is the thing formed from? What? Let's crash out together, fam. Big facts. Democrats, socialists. Hey, I respect it. So you cool with 200 billion being sent for worldwide BS? Man, you know how much America spends on the military in itself? Trillions of dollars. And the billions of dollars is literally nothing when we look at the budget of the United States. And first of all, if we look at how much we gave to Israel, we gave 21 billion. First of all, I don't even think we gave 200 billion. You know, in fact, I will challenge that and say no. We did not give 200 billion. I think we gave close to $100 billion. But last time I checked, I know we gave Israel one of the most money that we've given, and that's $7 billion to Israel. So you're talking about $200 billion worldwide. Is it going to help people? If so, yes, I have no problem with that. But let's not sit here and talk about how much we're giving it, but we're already giving billions of dollars to Israel. We're giving billions of dollars to bomb these. We're spending money on things that we shouldn't be spending on. In fact, we spent over $100,000 on Donald Trump being in Mar-a-Lago. You hear what I'm saying? We spent $100,000 for Donald Trump to be in Mar-a-Lago. So don't come with me talking about, oh, you okay with spending so much money on helping develop countries. You know what the free market looks like? First of all, I'm not even a capitalist, and I understand why the free market makes fucking sense and why we need to help these people. If you want free market to fucking expand, if you want more money, you have to make sure that these countries are viable. And what America does, which I don't get how you guys are American. I don't get how you guys saying that you're a patriot. You understand that your goals is to make sure that capitalism and the Western ideology spreads. So how do you do that? If a country is fighting for their right to be a country and you can help them become that, you're forcing them to focus on a Western ideology. That's your fucking goal. Why would you stop that? Donald Trump is looking at a separatist ideology. That's not going to fucking work. You live in the fucking world. Donald Trump, you don't live in the United States solely. You live in the fucking world. The free market exists. You cannot be a separatist. That's impossible. And we're already seeing that happening with these inflation rates when it comes to tariffs. God damn, this life is pretty good. I'm gonna put this on my YouTube. I'm gonna put this live on my YouTube. I might go on live on here and then post it on YouTube. I think it'll be a lot easier for me, because I think I gave a lot of gems. I gave a lot of knowledge. Thank you for what you do. Hey, I appreciate that, but I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. That's my saying. I appreciate that, but I'm not doing enough. I promise you guys. Like, my goal is to really show you who the fuck I am. I'm fighting for this shit. I'm not backing down. I'm not doing nothing. This is the beginning, gang. I promise you. This year, you guys blessed me with this stage. You blessed me with this voice. You blessed me with this opportunity. I want to take this opportunity. I want to take this voice. I want to take this stage, and I want to build it to something that actually is going to change people. Not just talking to you on the camera, but actually being out there with the people. This is why I went to a few of the protests. I'm going to a protest Saturday for a Palestine. It's a local protest. No, a lot of people don't know about it, but I'm going to be out there for the people. Me and my girlfriend is doing food banks. We're doing all these things, and this is just the beginning. I also am going to travel to hopefully DC, Chicago, Portland. I went to New York. I wanted to find protests there. Unfortunately, where I was staying at my hotel was a bit far. It was at an island, and we weren't in Manhattan. It was super cold, and there was no protest going on during that time. I really wished, but 5 minutes left. Let me read any more questions, guys. Sorry, let me read any more questions. How many votes does it take to open government? Smart guy. For the filibuster, it's 60. For the CR, I believe it's 51. 51 or 52. That's a trick question, gang. You know that, huh? So you're gonna disagree the fact that Democrats voted against 13 times. They didn't vote. Again, guys. Technically, you're wrong. They didn't vote against the CR bill. They voted against the filibuster. And I blame. And this is why people are saying. And this is why you hear the term block CR. When they say block CR, that blocking is the filibuster. So every time you hear that they blocked the CR, that means they voted against ending the filibuster. They did not vote against the CR bill 13 times, because if they did, the CR bill would have been passed already. I'm gonna say this one more fucking time so people understand what the fuck I'm saying. Democrats, and I'm gonna make a video on this tomorrow. I got you. I'm gonna make a video on this tomorrow. Democrats did not vote against the CR bill 13 times. They voted against the filibuster ending, motherfucker. That's the difference. Right? And then you'll be like, oh, semantics. That's what Donald Trump does. That's literally how that's why I love Donald Trump. It's because his lawyers do the shit I just did. That technicalities bullshit I just did there. Yes, and I'm right like shit. I'm right like shit. Who's the ideal Dem nominee for 2028? I don't have one. I feel like it's unfair. The reason being is because I have to do more research on these individuals. I rather them put their hats in the ring, and I do my due diligence and work on them. Pete Buttigieg said something. I think Kamala Harris mentioned something. Gavin Newsom mentioned something. Who else? We know AOC is not going to be running it. Democrats don't like AOC. In fact, I think she tried to run for to run a DNC. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. And they voted against that. I think she's a great leader. And I think Dems are going to see that she is there. I think they want her to be right first. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think they want AOC to be right first. I could be wrong. I do think they want a more mature person in there. That's why they had, I think, Schumer, whatever. But honestly, I have to look at their stats. I have to look at their APACs. I have to look at their lobbies in general. I have to look at what they voted for. I have to look at how many years they've been running and shit like that. So all these things do matter to me. So I can't give you an answer right now. One more question, then I'm going to be chilling with my partner. We've been disagreeing a lot, and I want her to know. You feel me? Maybe. I'm sorry. How do you feel about Christian nationalism that these white people are spreading? Babe, can I get 5 minutes of being on live? I just got 5 minutes. That's a great question. Let's talk about Christian nationalism. I did do a video on this, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a black man who's talking about politics, so it may not go that far until some shit go down. But let me explain. White national. Listen. If we're going to talk about, if we really want to understand how Christian nationalism is here, we have to understand what's happening to trans people. And what do I mean by that, guys? There's this idea, there's this full-on knowledge that this cannot be a Christian state if we have trans people here in America. This is why we're seeing an uptick of anti-trans bills being passed, right? And we're seeing that being passed since 2018, or since Donald Trump became president. I can't remember the exact same, 2017, 2018. I'm gonna say, right? We've been seeing that happening since 2018. And why do I say that? It's because and a lot of Christians are saying this, that trans rights are going against what Christianity is. This is why we're seeing a lot more bills being passed when it comes to this. Yeah, tell me why. I'm glad you understand that. Okay, y'all remember how Donald Trump was actually a big fan of Caitlyn Jenner, right? In fact, at one point, Donald Trump said that he will be okay with Caitlyn Jenner using any bathroom that she feels fit, which obviously I believe she wanted to go to the women's restroom, right? That's what Donald Trump says. On my life, I'm not lying. Donald Trump sat here and went on national TV and said, I'm okay with Caitlyn Jenner going at any bathroom, right? He becomes president. I think he was president during this time, right? And then he has his Christian movement. What happens? He then says that trans people cannot be in sports. Trans people cannot be in bathrooms. He even made a declaration that there's only two genders, which doesn't make any fucking sense because trans people is not a gender. Trans people are just a transitioning to a gender. So that doesn't make sense in itself. But the reason why is because they believe that God made us this way. You cannot transition because you're going against what God wants you to be. That's what their beliefs is. You keep saying no as if like Christianity isn't a subjective. You know that, right? You know what I can say is wrong to you, but can be actually facts to Donald Trump, right? And that's what's happening. And we're clearly seeing this. This is why on the first day, and you guys, you can see that in my videos, I do a lot of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like reshoots, because I cannot speak fluently. I jump to tangents. Trump watches Fox News. Trump is Fox News, all right? Fox News be lazy him. And NCBS News, I don't like them neither, whatever. But that's what we need to understand. So this is why we're seeing a high tick of anti-trans ideologies. But so we also have to understand is that the reason why we have white nationalism is because a lot of people have this nonsense belief that the founding fathers were Christian. If they were Christian, they were not Christian nationalists. And that's the difference. Just because your founding father was Christian does not mean that they based it on Christian beliefs. First of all, they were deists, right? Deists were people. Damn, I wish I had water, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to have to end this a lot more sooner than I want because I am parched. And baby, can you scroll up? Thank you. Perfect. So a deist is an individual who does believe in God and does believe God did create us, but that's it. God allows us to do what the fuck we want to do, and he doesn't do anything else. And that's different than what Christians believe. Christian actually believes that God is actually part of the earth. He's watching. He's all-knowing and all-powerful. While deists believe that God created us, God created the earth, and then he's leaving us alone and nothing else happens. God has no movement when it comes to us after being alive. So that's what we need to understand. Why is he getting rid of Medicaid and healthcare even in the question? Because he's trying to give more money to the businesses. In fact, Donald Trump is known for this. In his first term, he actually caused 2 million people to lose their health care because he stopped something from happening. I think in Obamacare, which is bittersweet. I see why people were against it, but I see why it's there at the same time. This is why we have conversations of this. But what Donald Trump did was he stopped people. So basically, in Obamacare, if you didn't have insurance, you paid extra. Force you to have insurance. It's a lot better if you have insurance, to be honest. But if you didn't have insurance, you paid a lot more. He stopped that, and because he stopped that, a lot more people were going to leave their insurance. And if people wanted to join their insurance, their premiums will go up. So that's what was happening. 2 million people lost their insurance for that. Now Donald Trump is doing the same thing, but instead of 2 million, let's add a motherfucking zero to that. 20 million people may lose their insurance. Yes, 20 million people. Fucking crazy. And that's like 9% of the population. I'm not too sure. Guys, I have to end this. Thank you so much, guys. I haven't done live in so long, and we peaked at almost 200 viewers. Gang, I'm doing this every 5 p.m. every day at 5 p.m. and we're going to talk about this shit. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up. DM me. I think emailing is a lot better at simpleblacktheory@gmail.com. This will be on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for this. I think I'll put a lot of good shit out there, right? Peace, love, and don't do drugs. without the proper entities. Thank you. Peace. Oh, yeah.